Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Random Disclaimer Show. Today is episode number 4, and I'm here with the homie Tyler.
Yo, yo, yo.
And our special guest today is the homie Eric.
Good morning, friends.
How you been, Eric?
Pretty good, but pretty stressed out. I've just had a lot going on recently, from school, and then I'm also the club president of the club tennis team up here, so I've had to do like a bunch of organizing for that.
Yes, sir, Mr.
Hey, Mr.
Boss
President.
Man. Yeah, Mr. Prez. So we're going to, for the podcast, we're going to be getting rid of the video of it. So what we were discussing right before we started the podcast is, for the podcast, it's just going to be audio only for now on, and it's going to be shared on all platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, or Apple Podcasts and stuff like that. And for like videos and stuff, we're probably going to make a whole thing away from the podcast and like react to videos, listen to music, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the reason that we're gonna do that is because if somebody was listening to an audio podcast on their phone and we were just reacting to a bunch of videos, it'd be kind of weird and out of context, so people wouldn't really get much enjoyment out of the podcast episodes. So we kind of want to make it enjoyable in every type of content that we produce. So we're gonna try to have one for everything to keep it organized.
Yes, sir. So starting on the first topic, we're going to go over Chris Watts. If you guys don't know and you're listening now, Chris Watts was the guy who murdered his wife and daughters because he was in a relationship with another girl, and he apparently wanted to restart life and did it the worst way possible.
I can't remember how many months ago it happened, but
It was a good while ago. I think
Did
it
hear
was,
about that
I think it
case.
was multiple years ago, like a year and a half or 2 years. The only reason I'm bringing this up is because I just watched the documentary it's number 1 on Netflix right now,
Mhm.
and I wanted to bring a little bit of awareness with this thing that happened. So the thought is that he was wearing this patch, which is can't say this word, Celogyne.
Celagiline. That's from the Sam transdermal patch.
Yeah. So this patch, the context of it is there's been a lot of issues with people. So first, before the patch was a thing, it was just a pill, and they created the patch to wean people off of the medicine. And this medicine is known for causing hallucinating, sleepwalking, extreme moods like violence or anger. And him and his wife were both wearing this at the time that they were going through their split up, I believe. He wanted to divorce her, and I think, could be wrong, I'm probably wrong, but I think that had a little bit of influence. And like, so there was this case, I believe in Texas, this army general ended up killing his family during the night when he was drinking alcohol, and he had the patch on, and he ended up killing his family, and he woke up the next morning like flipping out because he thought someone broke in and killed them. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty insane. Wow.
So
Either that or he was acting like he thought that. That's wild.
yeah, he ended up passing his polygraph test and everything. Like, he had no recollection of doing this. So that was a long story just to kind of go into. I want to bring a little bit of awareness for antidepressants.
Yeah, antidepressants are definitely no joke at all. Messing with the serotonin in your brain, and that makes you perceive everything differently. And
Yeah.
everyone.
100%.
Everyone is different, and it's okay to speak up so a lot of the times it makes, like, the medicine you're taking could make you feel better, but there's cons. You're noticing different things that are happening that shouldn't be happening, and that's a sign that you should talk to your doctor and have him switch it. There's thousands
Definitely
of
weigh
different,
the pros and cons.
yeah, there's thousands of different antidepressants, and it's okay to let your doctor know that there's something going on and you can try something else, because everyone's different. Every medicine has oh, it worked for me 100%, and then some people are like, it made me go insane. So just be aware of it. That's what I really wanted to bring that up for.
Absolutely. It's no shame in having to be on an antidepressant, for real. Some people's brains are built differently, and if your brain has happened to lack, serotonin or something like that in a certain way, there's no shame in having to be on an antidepressant. I myself was on Paxil in high school for like 2 years, and after it helped everything at the beginning, a lot of my anxiety problems, but over time it just didn't help with those at all. It just completely wore off, and I took it before school every morning, so it would kind of allow me to wake up, like allow my brain to clear the fog and wake up for the day. And if I didn't take it, I would just be kind of like a zombie all day. And I know people say that, and it's like, did you really feel like a zombie? But yes, you really do feel like a zombie. Like you can't wake up or comprehend things that you normally would be completely cool to comprehend at 3 p.m. But you just can't seem to grasp because you didn't take, the little antidepressant that does nothing at that point but allow you to wake up. So yeah. I'm not saying that all antidepressants are bad, but if it's not working for you anymore, speak up and say something, because
it's
it can
okay.
end bad.
It's all right to notice that things are different, and there is other options out there. Don't feel like you're stuck on one medication.
Definitely. A lot of people won't talk about their mental health or their state of mind, and like especially if they're using antidepressants, but it's something that a large majority that a lot of people would not expect could utilize and actually work to getting the best product for each person to help them be in a better state.
Absolutely.
Yep. Don't want to drag it out too long. You want to switch to a different topic?
Yeah.
I want to touch up another thing. A lot of people do say this, but it's understatement. Exercise. If you're feeling depressed and things, like antidepressants will definitely help you, but you add a little exercise in. I'm not saying it's the miracle solver of everything, but
it helps
it's
definitely
a
lot.
Distractions. Run a little bit or something, get a little bit of confidence, listen to your favorite song, run around the block, run 2 more laps the next time, build up, and you're gonna start feeling good about yourself, and it's gonna help you with your confidence mentally. It's gonna help you in all aspects of your life, and definitely give it a try.
It's a very huge key in mental health, but you have to give it time. It's a process. You're not just going to go shoot basketball for 15 minutes and be like, all right, why am I not feeling better? I think that's what people are thinking. Like it's like you go out and run, like Tyler was saying, or play a couple games of basketball every day, lift some weights, throw some punches at a punching bag, anything to get your heartbeat moving, just to get moving around. Within a month, you're not even going to notice that it's just so much better for you. And I feel like another thing that ties into that is your diet as well.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I do it sometimes. I'm not gonna lie to you. I still eat fast food every once in a while, but it's an issue. The stuff
I've
that
almost
you're putting
stopped completely.
I eat it way more often than I should.
And I'm not saying that it's ruining your life. I'm just saying if you try eating grass-fed meat or just eating less processed and more like whole food, like a steak, asparagus, some potatoes, rice, you're going to notice wow, my body is running off better energy.
Y'all can hate me for saying this, but the vegan stuff, sometimes if it's not cooked right or made right, it doesn't taste good. My mom's a pretty good chef, and she makes some vegan recipes, and you just notice your body digests things that aren't meat better. Whether or not you want to act like that's false or an opinion, it's really fact. If you just really test it on yourself, you'll notice if you decide to eat a burger or you decide to eat something say a black bean burger instead of an actual beef burger, your body's going to digest the black bean burger a lot easily, and it has roughly the same protein in it. So definitely take a look at not complete vegan options, but some type of things that maybe maybe not meat. Maybe get your protein from something else. It might help you if you have digestive problems.
It depends on what you're eating, I think. If you're eating,
Well, it also depends on like
I
what
was
your
gonna
body
say,
used to and your
don't
a lot of things.
compare like grass-fed elk burger to McDonald's burgers.
No, yeah, absolutely. I'm not
just
comparing
saying-
that at all.
No,
I'm just saying
just-
in general, I notice if I eat something that's like more vegan based than meat, I mean, I don't know. That's just me personally, and I guess this is kind of a TMI, but in high school, I had to get my gallbladder removed because I had a lot of nausea in the mornings before school, and it was really, messing with my ability to even get up and go to school and things, because I was just getting sick. So I had to get that taken out, and from that point on, my body doesn't really like to digest, things like meat and things like that as well. Just takes more time, and I'm definitely like more prone to getting sick. Like digesting is like actually a process for me now. Like usually you eat something and you can just chill, but like for me, like I kind of have to really chill, or else I'm prone to get sick if I'm digesting food.
Of course.
It's so
And
much slower. But
that definitely ties into what, if you do, like, I believe as humans, more plant-based is definitely a good way to go. But for meats, like, if you're buying meat from not a meat shop and just like a Walmart or something like that, that meat is not real meat. I promise you that. There's additives in it to make it last longer and all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
So that would weigh into digestive problems. Like if you're eating, I promise, if you just try like an elk steak or something like that, deer, even just grass-fed cows. Like if you try that meat, it's beautiful. It's
absolutely.
It's not the same as like a Wendy's or a McDonald's. Not even in the same world, honestly. But definitely vegetables are a good. I don't know.
Vegetables are an absolute must. I hear so many people in our age group and older even that say they don't eat vegetables at all, and it's just kind of shocking to me. Like I don't know, vegetables, like they have vitamins and a lot of like minerals and nutrients that
Stuff
you need.
You really need, like spinach. A beautiful thing. It's good for
absolutely.
Like if you're having skin issues, just try for a week to cut out like chips, candy bars, like Cheez-Its, whatever you like to eat, and just try like water and just whole foods, like a baked potato and like just a piece of meat, or a salad with like super minimum dressing. It might not like make your taste buds go crazy, but I promise you do that for a week, your skin clears up, you're going to feel a shit ton better. You're not even going to realize like I was living like how I was living before I started this. I don't know. I've tried here in the last month. I've been doing great on it, and I'm getting up. I'm doing podcasts. I'm working out. I'm motivated to go to work and get my job done. It's just crazy the difference. And I was in the same position. I was like, bullshit. I don't give a fuck.
Not to mention, whenever you're eating whole foods like that, you're not gonna get as hungry as much as if you're just snacking around on chips and things. Like I used to not even want to believe this. My mom used to preach it to me and tell me, you're just eating junk food and snacks, like you're just gonna be hungry in a little bit. And I used to be like, whatever. But really, you see what happens when you start eating actual foods with protein and vitamins and minerals. You don't get tired. You don't get hungry as much. You just all around perform better. So.
I promise. If you for breakfast, I do some eggs and a little bit of oats to get a little bit of carbs, because you don't want to starve your carbs if you're lifting weights.
One of the things I do usually mornings is like, I noticed like I really wasn't eating a whole lot of greens that much. So what I tried doing is I make like sandwiches in the morning, and I'll put like a ton of baby spinach in the middle and then just like encase it in. So that way I just like eat it, and I honestly don't even notice it as much.
Spinach is
it's still really good.
Yeah, spinach is a golden vegetable. That's what I was getting ready. So I do eggs and some carbs through the oatmeal in the morning, and then after my workout, I make a little like shake, and I throw in like berries, spinach, a scoop of peanut butter, just everything natural. I don't really use protein powder. If I do use it, it's like a scoop or less, and I just drink that every day. Cause I'm gonna be honest. I'm not a super fan of like salads, but I'm getting my greens in however I can, and throwing them into my protein shake is just beautiful.
Definitely.
Sounds good.
My mom makes a mean green smoothie.
You throw in some like the other day. Today I just had a protein shake, but like 3 days ago I did spinach, berries. I did red berries and blackberries, or I guess raspberries and blackberries, and I did a scoop of peanut butter, and I added like 3 little squares of dark chocolate. Bro, it was amazing.
Sounds fine.
I'm just saying, you put your effort into it. I promise there's stuff that you're gonna like that's not processed and not filled with waste. Yeah.
It's a problem.
I'm glad we brought that up. I feel like there should be more awareness on it.
Definitely. My mom makes. Have you guys been to Tropical Smoothie? I don't think it's up there, but
no, it's never been.
I haven't.
So Tropical Smoothie's like a little place that they sell a bunch of smoothies, but they also have like kind of like healthy food options like wraps and like flatbreads and stuff like that. But it's kind of like Panera bread, but mainly a smoothie aspect.
Yeah.
But there's this green smoothie. It's like a mean green smoothie, and it's just absolutely packed with like all types of like vegetables and stuff. And somehow my mom, like I think it might be online available, but she got the recipe for it and she just makes that like
it's good
like twice a week.
What is it? I've had a green smoothie and it was like it had spinach, it had kiwi.
It took me a while to get used to. I can't lie because there's a lot of spinach in it, but it just after you drink it just makes you feel better.
You can make it taste better. You can add.
I definitely could.
You could add 100% fruit juice, no processed, no added sugars. They sell it at different stores. Like Mother Earth's Food has 100% like what was I going to say? 100% like pineapple juice. It's literally just a squeezed pineapple. It doesn't have sugars or anything in it from added. Yeah, you can add those kind of juices. You limit it. Don't use the whole fucking container. Use just like an ounce or two. And
she's the one that makes the smoothie. So yeah, I don't really.
I was just saying, if someone wanted to try it and they didn't understand the recipe, there's simple ways
to change it.
To make it taste how you want it to taste.
Definitely.
All right, moving on from that, you want to talk about? Let's talk about politics a little bit. I want to shed some light on the third party votes that we can throw this year. I know Eric has a little bit of information he's going to share with us, and then we can kind of give our opinions after that on what we think.
Definitely.
I said definitely being here talking to you guys. Like, I'm not only just having a conversation with you guys, but like extra, like some other people could hear something that I say and like take any value from it. So I think one thing that's really important for third parties that not a lot of people know is like they need a 5% for one candidate of the general population for them to get public funding. And this is like via the Federal Election Commission, which is the FEC. So like it's the exact number. So the reason this is so important is that public funding that they can get for that party could help raise a way bigger platform for them, which could be like very, very beneficial, which I'll explain in a little bit. But the reason that these numbers are like so important are like that this party, like these third party, they got a total of 4.4% from 2 candidates in the 2016 election, and 3.3% of that was from Gary Johnson, who was he represented the Libertarian Party, and then the other 1.07% was from Dr. Jill Stein, who represented the Green Party. And if they can get a total of 4.4 and they keep getting traction every year, and this number 4.4 has also been the highest that it's been in a while. So like if they can keep getting traction and eventually have one candidate that gets that 5%, it could be huge.
Yeah.
So one thing I think is important, like not a lot of people know about, is that a lot of people, what I hear say is like, oh man, I really hate the two-party system. Well, it's really not. You just have to put yourself out there and like get this number. Because if they can get funding, if they can get enough awareness for their platform, which funding is extreme for, then they could potentially get 15% of the electoral college, which that would allow for that party to have a representative on the national debate stage in the upcoming election. And that's also from the FEC, which is again the Federal Election Commission. So if
That's huge.
to cite myself.
Yeah, and Eric just mentioned that a lot of people, even this is very much the problem now in this election this year, is both parties aren't looking very good for people. And a lot of people say third party votes are pretty much throwing your vote away. That's very untrue, because it's just that 5% that needs to be pushed, and that matters a big amount.
And they showed in 2016 that we did 4.4%.
So
that
close.
is
I think this year
0.6% away from the public funding number
Well,
that
it
it
was
needs.
1.7% away, because Gary Johnson was 3.3.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
total,
Okay.
two of them had 4.4.
Yeah, I'm not looking at the correct
That's
numbers.
still
I'm just quoting.
insane.
But
That is an insane amount.
Yeah, that's
It's
why
insane.
we on this podcast we're sharing this knowledge, because we want
And
to bring
that
awareness
was-
that there is an option away from this cluster that we have going on right now.
So
Absolutely.
I think that number. Give me a second, but
that was 2016, correct? You said that was Obama and Clinton. I'm probably wrong.
No, that
Was that
would have been Trump and Hillary.
one.
Oh, it was okay. Yeah, he did get elected in 2016. Wow.
Sorry, my words got.
Dr.
muddled
Jill
up.
Stein's 1.07%, to put that into context, was 469,627 votes in the general population.
So that's how much made up that small.
That's a lot of
percent.
people.
That just proves
lot of
that
people.
your third party vote, if you're really split between the two and you're like, what am I going to do? Am I just not going to vote this year? Please, just think about voting. That
Please
vote will
vote.
definitely matter to that small percent that they need to get.
Please vote.
I don't know.
That's all I gotta say.
Yeah,
Please
it's
vote.
very.
It's,
I see you.
That's
Our
what it
future
is.
depends on it. Please vote.
Yeah.
And not just, and I want to add this, not just for your main candidate for the presidency. You also control like senators, your judges. Go out and vote. Do a little bit of research to something for a platform, no matter what your beliefs are, something that you truly like share a mindset with somebody and support them. Like votes matter a lot, because if you don't like care about judges and all of these under like offices, they're the ones that eventually decide with like the electoral college. So you also directly impact the electoral college if you're deciding who these senators are that are in positions.
100%. It makes me mad when people say that your vote doesn't matter. It does. Just because you don't want to vote for Trump or Biden has nothing to do with the rest of the election, and doesn't have, like, there's still other options other than truly throwing your vote away just from not showing up or not going online or not filling out the poll that they're sending in the mail.
Absolutely. And another thing I want to state, because it's a very prevalent thing in today's culture, and I don't know why, because that's just the way culture is. It just does whatever it wants to do, even if it's completely the wrong thing. Somehow politics and being aware of what's going on in politics has now become corny. I'm not really sure how that became corny, but I guess being stupid and not having any idea of what's going to happen in the future or understanding how governments work is corny, I guess. But
Well, I think it became corny when we let just a rich, wealthy guy in office.
It's only corny though if you truly let it be corny.
But I
Like,
think,
and what I mean by
Well,
that
but-
is like you seeing somebody think it's corny and you yourself believing it's corny, because it's not.
yeah.
Like personally, I've never ever thought that way,
but
and
I'm
not
just
going to, because I
stating-
know how much it it's impacting. So like I know no matter what, it's something I care about, and that's what I wish a lot of people would do.
Yeah,
No, definitely. That's kind of why I'm making this point,
It's so
because
sad.
because there's just a culture of people that will kind of just discount you if you do anything political.
Yeah.
Like
Just
today.
ignore 'em.
and that's what Tyler was just asking. He doesn't know when it became corny, and I was saying we let just a rich, wealthy guy in office. He didn't have any political backgrounds and
At all,
I was just taking this as an example. I'm a big fan of stepping out of my shoes and trying to put my mind into other people's minds. So if I was someone that was like, man, is politics really corny, and I turned on my TV and watched the debate that just happened, I would be like, this is the most corniest shit I've ever seen. I'm just shedding a
You're
little
not
bit of
wrong.
light. I'm just
You're
trying
not
to
wrong.
understand the people that say it's corny. But that's why we're here. We're trying to shed that there's other options. If you don't like reading up on politics, I promise there's YouTube videos out there. You can look up just like third-party voting, and I promise there's going to be someone talking about what candidates are going to be up this year.
And they can summarize some of their important thoughts.
Because some people I know, some of us are in college, and we don't really have time to go and read for an hour like about politics. So turn on a little 15-minute video while you're waiting to start homework or waiting to hop into a Zoom class, and just listen to it. I promise you'll learn something.
We live in 2020. I mean, as sad as it is, Eddie Van Halen, rest in peace. Everything else that's
Rest in
terrible has
power.
happened this year. But anyway, we live in 2020. Like, we have the internet. Like, this is, whether or not you want to believe it, the most convenient time to be alive. You have the entire world at your fingertips. You can do whatever you want. You can pick anything you want to do in the entire world, and you can do it. You can choose to do it. I mean, it's amazing that we have this power. And you know, if you don't know something, go online and learn about it.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't know about a politics, like, I mean, obviously, if you don't have enough time to read about it, there's videos on it. There's other people talking about it and discussing it.
That's
You can
exactly
take
it.
what they're
I hear sometimes that people like, oh, I really don't have time to read up on it. Don't read up on it. Don't read up on it. Listen.
yeah.
You have time for your ears to just do, I don't know. I just hope.
Mostly everybody has to drive to work. Instead of listening to the radio, listen to a podcast. If you don't have an aux Bluetooth cord, go to Walgreens or Walmart or Publix or any Target, anything like that. Go to the electronics aisle by the car section, and there's going to be a little Bluetooth thing you can plug into your cigarette lighter,
It's like
and then you
10
can listen
bucks.
to aux.
$10
If you don't
and
have
it'll
if you
last
don't have a
forever.
cigarette lighter that works, if the cigarette lighter's broken, you can get yourself a cassette or a CD, and you can plug it into your car, and it will work either way. There's options, there's ways you can get around it.
Or
but-
if anything, just play it off your phone. Just
Exactly.
turn your phone on, listen to a podcast, and just drive.
There's a
It's
will, there's a
not
way.
that hard to just put in a little bit of effort. We wanted to bring awareness because, I mean, I'm sure we can all agree that there's a lot of people saying, well, that's completely bullshit. Why would you waste your
Absolutely.
vote on a third party? Why would you do this? Why would you do
Well,
that?
100%. Yeah, it's kind
It's not the case at all.
of hurts to see.
We'll talk about that more. Like, I'm going to keep bringing awareness to that on this podcast. But moving on from that, we're going to stick with politics right now, and we're going to go. All right, let's kind of take a break from politics right after this next thing. We'll go back into it. Tyler, you wanted to talk about Devin Chauvin getting released on bail?
Yeah, that's his name. I just think it's very interesting. I mean, it's 2020 and everything. We have all this other great stuff, but you can murder a man on camera and post bail and get out of prison. It's just
So,
a kind of an interesting thing.
His bail was set at $1 million, which would mean he had to pay what, $10,000 to get out.
I think 100,000, isn't it? Isn't it
100,000.
10%?
So
Yeah.
he was able to murder a man and get walk free for $100,000.
It's on camera. It's on film. Like, it's not this man, like, arguably, oh, he didn't. No, like, he did it on camera for 9 minutes. Like, there's no arguing, telling me that he was on drugs. I don't care. You could tell me your bullshit reasons another time, because I don't have time to hear him right now. He murdered the man on camera. He's a police officer. he should be trained to do better than that, and he did not.
This almost weighs into politics.
It does weigh into politics, absolutely, because
the judges
the government's
that we're
not
voting
doing anything about it.
The senators, the governors, the mayors.
He should not be out of prison right now at all. He's a murderer, and he is free. That's not right. And our justice system isn't right. That's an example of it right there.
That's why voting matters. Our justice system will
We have to work to fix it.
Yes.
Voting matters because if you don't vote, we have people in power that don't give a fuck. Like right now, they don't give a fuck, and they won't do anything about it.
We just had senators let a murderer walk free for $100,000. That's it. $100,000. He's able to go home. When the person he killed will never be on this earth as we know it again.
The sad part is I know he didn't post bail with his own money. It's from the GoFundMe that he put that people were donating to him for. Yeah. And that's just very sad that there's a video that you can watch of him murdering somebody and you choose to donate.
I think the GoFundMe business should step up and say something or do something about them raising money for people that kill people. This is the same thing that just happened to that Kyle Rittenhouse guy. He
definitely
raised
and their
fucking
statement
$1 million for shooting.
It was $1
people.
million?
Yeah, he raised $1 million fucking dollars.
Oh my goodness.
It's unbelievable. It gives me cold chills to think that someone that just shot 3 people, killed 2 people by shooting them in the fucking head, just raised $1 million. Oh my! It bothers
poor
me.
Kyle. Poor Kyle. That's wow. Appalling.
Understand.
And their message, their statement to that was, we don't always support, or we host, whatever fundraisers for whatever. We don't always support, or it doesn't mean we always support the causes or whatever.
I think they should step up and make it to where
it's compliance.
You're not able to just say without the context, because I feel like I'm gonna give the people that donated to Kyle the benefit of the doubt, and they didn't know that he would be charged with murder, capital murder. So,
and I just want
that's where GoFundMe needs to step in and say,
I still don't see how they could even think that.
What?
How they could think he wouldn't get charged with that.
I'm just saying. I'm just being very.
I know, but there's no.
Yeah, I agree. I'm on the side of that. As soon as I seen the video, I'm just like, you fucking terrorist.
And this is another thing I want to bring into context, because there's a lot of people I think that are misguided and don't understand the difference. So if you're hearing me right now, you're hearing me, Sadler, right now, listen up, please. Listen to what I have to say here. Black Lives Matter movement is not what you think it is. I know there's a lot of people thinking that, oh, it's just a bunch of terrorists running around on the street, whatever, Antifa. It is not that. You need to step back and look at the bigger picture about why countless white people are on the streets protesting for people, because they see the injustice that's happening in this country. Like, if that's happening, it's not just a bunch of stupid white people wanting to be woke. It's not. And that's what a lot of people are saying. And they're saying, oh, there's just a bunch of white people trying to be woke. It's just a bunch of Antifa members trying to loot. If you honestly think that, then I think you're not looking hard enough at the picture. You need to step back more and look at the picture, because Black Lives Matter is not about that. Yes, there's people that have claimed that movement while in vain in doing other things that are not in the spirit of what the main movement's trying to do. But it's the same thing with anything in the entire world. You can't let one single bad apple discount an entire movement. And that's what a lot of people is allowing it to happen. There's a lot of my family members that are even doing it, and it's kind of sickening. But obviously you can't control what other people think, but I'm trying to make it clear right now that if you really look at the picture, Black Lives Matter is not some Antifa movement that the president has claimed it is. That is completely misguided. That's completely misheard, misreceived. And if you're going to take the president's word for something, then that's your first problem right there. And
now that
I'm not saying that out of dislike of Trump. I'm not saying that with any bias. I'm just saying, if you take somebody's word for face value, that's a problem. You have to do your own research.
Yes,
And
100%.
I just felt like I needed to make that clear because there's a lot of people discounting it and making it seem like it's some joke or, act. It's very needed.
Yes.
Justified.
Now that we're on the topic of Black Lives Matter, I have to make the statement: all lives matter is completely bullshit.
Thank you for
It's
that.
completely
the people
bullshit.
in Black Lives Matter never once in their fucking life said that they need valued more than everyone
And I want to
else.
say this too. Blue Lives Matter is also bullshit. And I want to say the whole Kyle Rittenhouse thing is bullshit.
Well, Blue Lives Matter is bullshit because that's not a fucking collar. If you want to wake up
It's not,
anytime
it's not
today,
the color of your skin.
it's not.
Take off the uniform.
You're not born
Exactly.
into a fucking police officer uniform. I get way too mad talking about it.
You can't change the color
We
of your skin.
understand. Everyone in Black Lives Matter that supports it understands that there is cops out there that are good people, and we support them. The thing that we don't support is racist, and the fact that you can go to a fucking 2-month course and become a police officer. It needs to be changed.
It's ridiculous. And if you think that we're too emotional about it or we're not thinking logically, you're not thinking logically. You are letting your beliefs cloud your judgment on the subject. And that's just how it is. There's just people that are just stuck in old mindsets and old ways that cannot break free from the pattern that their parents have taught them. Like, you really just, I don't know. If there's a whole generation of people seeing a problem, I don't think we're that stupid. I mean, a lot of people say like younger generations are stupid, but we're not that stupid. There is too many people. And if you're, I mean, the only way you couldn't see a problem with the race injustice in this country is if you're blind, I think.
Yeah.
But if you're blind, you can still probably hear about it and still hear it in person and know that it exists. You don't even have to see it. It's so bad. It's so ingrained in this country that people mistake freedom for not being racist. Like you don't have to be a racist to be an American. Like, that's not part of the checklist. I promise you. Like, you can not,
Well,
I don't know.
It's embedded into generations, and it'll soon break as time goes on. It's going to get better and better. I believe in that. The only thing I want to bring up is, so Black Lives Matter supports defund the police. Am I right? Am I ignorant for saying that?
I think there's varying tiers of Black Lives Matter, and I think there's some extremists that do support that, and I think that's I think the police need more funding and more training to be able to weed out people, and that's just a emotional response. That's an example of somebody that's an example of an immature desire from an emotional response. Like, that's not thinking logically about how the problem will be solved. I understand that a lot of people just say they're thugs and things, but when you have a family member murdered in cold blood for no good reason, you're gonna be pissed off too. Exactly. And if it's your son or your daughter or your mom or your dad, you're gonna go out and you're gonna fuck some shit up, and you're probably still fucking some shit up. And you know what? I don't blame you, not one tiny little bit, because this country is probably, I mean, I hate to say it, probably not going to give you any justice anytime soon. I mean, if we can't get the whole of the youth on board, it's so sad to see people I went to high school with supporting Trump and just thinking it's a game. It's very sad. I mean,
I got to say,
it's really no other word for it. It's just sad.
Disclaimer, I still support you if you support Trump. It's okay. We're still friends. I still support you as a human just because we don't believe in the same thing. It's all right.
If you support Trump, don't talk to me about politics, and we'll be cool. That's what we need to
understand, that we both have different views, and it's okay. We can still hang out. We can still do this. We can still talk. We just don't need.
We're not hanging out.
We should know that we're going to. I mean, I'm not hanging out with anyone right now. COVID.
No, I'm just saying. I can't hang out with a Trump supporter. I couldn't do it. But
and that's okay. That's all right. I'm just saying. I support you as a human, but I don't support that. and that's okay. So we should know that we shouldn't bring up the debate. We shouldn't bring up the differences we have in our politics. We should just be humans and be peaceful with each other. I think belittling or dehumanizing people for their beliefs is not okay. That's all I'm trying to say.
Getting back to the defunding thing.
Yeah.
Are either of you familiar with what NYPD's police budget, like the police department's budget was?
I know it's
just say like last year in 2019.
I do not believe so.
$10.5 billion of city.
Whoa. 10.5. I thought you. What?
I think it needs to be more.
It does need to be more. No, it doesn't.
Yes,
That's
it
crazy,
does.
dude.
It needs to be more.
200. Did you say 200 or 20?
I said 10.5 billion.
So what needs to happen is that okay. So we all know that.
Gavin, you said you think it needs to be more.
Well, let's just listen real quick. We all know that it doesn't. Okay, I'll take back. It doesn't need to be more really, but it could be. But listen, I think we all know that there is corrupt police in New York that are embezzling money and laundering money. It's proven. There's police that get arrested all the time for moving drugs and stuff like that. It's like there's actually movies and documents about it. What that 10 billion needs to do, I don't think they need to cut 10 million. Or 10 billion. They need to go in and put that into like a school. Make being a cop like a degree. We have doctors have to go to school for like fucking 100 years. And we allow the people that protect our communities to carry guns after 6 months of just training. I think there needs to be schools, there needs to be classes that continually go on. Even if when you become a police officer, you still need to go to school to rank up.
I agree with that 100%, but I don't think just putting more funding in would make that happen.
No, that's why I took that back. I don't think there should be more than 10 billion, but I think that 10 billion is not wrong. I think that's very good for how many people they have and how many police officers they have to train.
I think now there's a lot of money falling through the cracks is what it sounds like.
It's not 10 billion for the fucking city. It's for the whole state. That's what you have to understand. That's a lot of people.
Right.
If you take like 20,000 cops and give them each $60,000 a year, that's a lot of fucking money. So that's 10 billion.
Okay, I'm gonna do math real quick and I'll come back in 3 minutes to just put this into perspective a little bit more.
Buddy's going for the PhD. He's gonna get that shit too.
For sure. He's a genius.
But it's something like the military budget for the United States is like 900 billion something.
I don't think
900 billion.
We're going to
900 billion
over
per
this
year
because I don't think we can get rid of that.
I'm not talking about that.
I'm just saying.
I'm talking about the police budget for New York is $10.5 billion.
Yeah.
There's 50 states. I mean, New York may be the most populated state, but I don't think it may be. But I'm thinking LA or something around there would be more populated at this point.
But go ahead and look up their funds. It's going to be way more than 10 billion. I promise. If you add in the cost, because 10 billion is going into the cops like their offices, their cars, their prisons, their jails, their supplies, their insurances, their everything.
$1.189 billion for the Los Angeles.
Yeah, so that's just Los Angeles. We're talking about the whole state of New York, not just New York City.
So California police budget. 50 billion.
Exactly.
That's not much more though. It's really not.
And their population isn't crazy bigger than New York. It is bigger, but not by a landslide.
I wonder if police budget is under military budget. Like I wonder if it counts as military.
Okay, I'm back with math.
Okay.
So, do you want to finish what you were saying? I'm sorry.
No, I wasn't really saying. I was just saying that like I don't know. It's just.
So I actually did the liberty of going through and doing a little bit of research and finding out the NYPD's budget spending allocations. So 88% of that goes to salary, wages, overtime, all of that jazz to the officers, right? So you take out 88% from that 10.2 billion. I did it as 10.2, even though it was 10.5. So it's actually an extra lot of money.
Whole 300 million.
So what you're left with is $1,224,000,000. So with $1,224,000,000, do you really think that amount of money annually is needed for the upkeep of these cars, prisons,
I think so.
everything?
I do think
Do you
so.
think that adds up?
I don't think so.
Not right now, but I'm saying if we add, so like, how much do you think WVU
Annually,
gets
by
paid?
the way.
How much do you think WVU gets paid yearly?
I can do the math for you. I can look it up.
Give me the estimate, and whatever that is needs to be put into schools for cops, classes that they can continually go to, not just the fucking bullshit 6 months that they get their fucking badge and big old gun.
And there needs to be very, very steep penalties for breaking laws as police officers. Like very steep. Like
Well,
it needs to be not
Alright, Kevin.
games.
I'm gonna give you another number.
Okay.
WVU in the 2019 fiscal year had total revenue of 1.12 billion.
Exactly. So that needs to be put into police. That's how much needs to be put into them learning. Not exact amount, but I'm saying like there needs to be schooling, so they need to take that that 1 point whatever they have left over after the incomes. They need to put it into continually making cops train, continually making them learn, and I think that would.
I honestly wouldn't be opposed to that idea, but that. Because, like, financially, that would make sense.
Yeah, I feel like that
That
would
would
be
also
best case
mean we have
scenario.
to increase budget
I'm
towards
just being very
departments.
realistic.
That'd be a
with
way
kids.
long-term investment,
Yeah,
you know?
and I think that would solve a lot of our issues with police brutality right now if
It's
we
an
took that
interesting
money.
But I just personally thought 10.5 billion.
I just look
It's
at
a lot.
everything though. But if you look at everything, that's a lot. That's not a lot.
Okay.
That
Let's
is
compare. Let's
what-
compare. What's the
that's a lot of
population? Let's compare. What's the population of New York?
Or you could just how many officers there is.
I just want to know the population because that would kind of dictate how many
A
officers
little less
need to be.
than 20 million.
A little less than 20 million. Okay, population of California.
Wait,
Is it a little less than 20 million?
wrong.
You said.
That's way wrong. Sorry, don't listen to me. I'm tired.
Okay, I got it.
No, it's not wrong. I think I'm wrong. I think it is. 20.
Okay, yeah, just under 20 million. 19.45 million 2019. So,
Oh,
okay,
okay,
so the lot California is $39.51 million. So that is only a difference of about 10 million. No, okay, about 20 million people or so. Just about 20 million people or so. I don't know if $10.5 billion for New York for just under 20 million people in 2019. They have 10.5 billion spending budget.
Wait, so
And Los Angeles has, just under 40 million people, which is not much more, and they have a $50 billion spending budget.
Exactly.
That is almost 4 times as much as.
So what are you trying to prove? That proves that their spending is quite the same with their populations.
I'd say that difference is pretty big for 20 million people.
So 20 million people get 10 million, and you're saying 40 million get 50 million. Is that what you're saying? I don't see the big difference in that. That's just more population, so more funding.
I don't know. I just feel like these numbers aren't. They're definitely rising because the population has definitely risen since.
All I was trying to prove is I think that we don't need to cut that. We don't need to cut 10 million. We need to take that extra billion from.
I think it needs to be reassessed.
Yeah, that would be
Hey,
beautiful.
Kevin, I have another segue into what I was building off of. That was just the start. So my second thing is what what do you think Dallas as a city spent on police budgets in 2019?
Probably
80 billion, sorry.
80?
No, just the
No.
city of Dallas. Dallas is a lot smaller than.
Yeah.
Oh, you
just-
said Dallas. I thought you meant Texas. My bad.
No, I don't have the Texas numbers.
What
on-
like 6 billion?
3.8 billion
Okay.
with a population of 1.345 million.
Well, I mean, Texas is different. We've talked about this in previous episodes.
That's
buy-
fair.
buy
That is
fucking-
also a very fair statement.
Yeah, they fucking buy tanks and RPGs down there for their cops.
Um,
And
just-
that's another thing.
Oh.
That's another thing. Do you think cops should be able to be militarized?
If they get the real training, of course, 100,000%.
But they're not the military.
But if they're trained in military, I think they should be militarized. If you're military trained,
I think
why-
that is what
a little
kind
scary.
of dilutes the right and wrong barrier and kind of gives people a sense of power, and that's what they want. Like,
What's
I
a
think
little
whenever you can
scary?
be a military cop, like, I think you either choose to be in the military and be a soldier, or you choose to be a police officer. You don't get to do both. Like, I don't know. It's
So-
just,
But cops are militarized.
I mean, they have weapons and
Yeah, I
things,
know, but if you consider the entire entity of cops as a unit that could be militarized at any point in time, do you see where that might just like cause a little bit of fear?
and how it has already thus far is kind of what I'm saying. Like, cops right now don't even have, crazy. I mean, they obviously do. They have guns and things. Like, they kill people with them that are
But that,
unjustified.
but
I'm
that
not saying-
ties into the training aspect of my term. Like, my reasoning is, if you
But
literally go to a
training
military
doesn't sort
training
out-
camp, why would you not be a part of the military?
training doesn't sort out somebody that does it for bad intentions.
Well, that's the whole point of training. It needs to be more funded so we can sort out the bad.
I don't know.
How could you do
More
that? Like,
other
with
aspects
training.
should be- Like there should be better training, but I just think the amount of money that's getting poured into these organizations needs to be allocated somewhere else, like something that's way more important.
You're
In my
going you're going to get rid of the bad from pounding in their heads. Not everyone that wants to be a doctor goes and completes the school. That's exactly how it would go for military or for cops.
I'd agree with that.
I don't know. I'd have to disagree partially.
What do you mean? Like,
I think somebody with bad intentions, even like, I think they could definitely go through the process.
But that's the
Just-
same. That's the same with there's doctors that have killed like 100 fucking people. Like you're still going to get the bad batch. It happens.
I
But
think they should
if-
also implement like mental health
Screening. I think, screening just needs to be a lot heavier.
That's-
a lot more.
That's beautiful. Do screening then.
I'm not even sure if that's a thing that's there now.
I don't
just-
know.
Exactly.
But if
It's
it,
like, it's
it isn't, it
huge.
needs to be there. That's all I'm saying. Like, there's the only fight to that is there's doctors that have killed thousands of people, but it doesn't. The percent drops. If you look at it through percentages, we're still going to have a little bit of bad cops, but the percent is going to drop so much, and that's what we need.
Definitely. Absolutely. I don't disagree with that at all.
And for the standpoint of militarizing the police, I don't know. You guys mentioned like if the police was like a military, like a branch of the military. I don't believe in that.
That's a little
So
scary.
I wasn't really thinking of it like that. I was thinking like if you're trained. In
I
the
was
military-
talking more of like, I saw a bill passed, I think it was last year. A police station was approved for getting like mini tanks and grenade launchers. I shit you not. Like,
Oh, yeah,
they were
that's- but
approved
that's
for funding.
Texas. That's not going to ever happen. I think. I mean, the chances
Yeah,
of that
but
happening is very
I
low.
just don't think we should be in a place where we can say that's just Texas. Like
Exactly.
that's a little
Yeah.
scary, man.
No, it's terrifying, but
I don't need.
Texas is
But
kind of
it's
terrifying.
Texas, like, nah, but it's not.
They're
That's not
allowed
okay. It's
to-
a part of the United States.
They have the
They're not
harshest,
allowed.
They have the harshest sentence. They have the harshest time served for crimes down there, but they also have the most freedom. You don't have to have a permit to carry weapons. You don't have to have a license to buy weapons. You can just buy them and carry them around the town.
I think
Just watch a Joe Rogan podcast. One of his first ones, he brought on a guy that's in the military and he's in Texas, and they're allowed to own like fucking machine guns and RPGs and humming missiles and shit. That needs to be solved as a general, not just police. Like if you're not okay, if it's scary that they're allowed to have tanks and stuff, then the rest of the population shouldn't be allowed to have that either.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that.
I'm just saying Texas. I'm not trying to just throw it off like that's Texas, but it really is. That's Texas. Like, it's not
I
just
don't
the
know.
police.
What would be the want for somebody to have a grenade launcher? I don't.
Move
As a
down to
police
Texas.
officer,
You
yeah.
buy a piece of property down there. You're like, fucking yeehaw! I'm about to blow up a
I'm
fucking
not
car.
saying people can
But
do it.
as a police officer,
Why?
Oh, I don't know. I'd have to see that article because that makes no sense. Why would the police have tanks?
I just want to know that perspective of like.
I'll try to
Why-
find it.
If we
You
find
did.
out what police department has tanks, I'm sure there's some kind of reasoning. Like they're on a border, like down in Texas by Mexico. Maybe that's why they have that kind of stuff.
I don't know. I wish I knew more, but I don't.
We can move on from this too. We've been talking.
So it was a police militarization bill or law passed by Trump, apparently, giving thousands of bayonets and hundreds of grenade launchers back to police departments and allowing them to
Why?
It was today the president made good on his campaign promise to Fraternal Order of Police to rescind Executive Order 13688 to put thousands of bayonets and hundreds of grenade launchers from U.S. military back in the hands of police.
Oh my
I see.
God.
That's just Trump. He's a goofball. That's completely ridiculous. Why? They do not need fucking grenade launchers. I thought it was going to be like one police academy got approved, and it's like right next to the border where there's high.
And that's why we need to
crime.
vote, y'all. That's
Yeah.
why we need to vote.
That just proves another point. That's fucking insane. They don't need. What was it? You said harpoons?
Bayonets and
Bayonets?
grenade launchers.
That's the fucking swords you put on your gun?
Yep.
That's fucking ridiculous. We don't need fucking AR-15s with knives hanging off of them. Vote, please. Vote.
Sadly,
vote.
our president thinks different.
That's fucking ridiculous. All right, let's move on from that. Let's keep on the subject of Mr. Trump. How do you guys feel about Trump completely canceling the stimulus program until he's voted into president again?
I think I saw it coming from fucking, 10 miles away.
My thing is, how the fuck is his supporters okay with that?
It's about the only leverage he has on the American people. I mean, that's obviously not
Exactly,
true. It's
but
obviously
why-
not true.
But that's a lot of the reasons. I mean, I'm sure this is completely a guess, but I'm sure people like Trump just because. I mean, we have so many people in America. I'm sure some people like Trump just because he gave us a stimulus package.
Political, economic reasons. Some people like Trump specifically only for economic reasons and look over past all the other stuff that he's done. And that's where you're wrong. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you support Trump, I'm not going to be mad at you necessarily, because why would I be mad at a stupid person? There's no point in being mad at somebody because they're stupid. But I just think you need to educate yourself and maybe just learn about some of the things that he's done. And if you do support him, come with a little better reasons than unemployment's up and this and that. I think you need to actually come with some facts for, like, I support this bill, or I like where he's going with this, instead of just saying he's a good businessman.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, but at this point, that's not enough. You are condoning a modern day attempt. And obviously, I mean, our government is hopefully set up to where that couldn't happen, but an attempt at dictatorship. I mean, that's my opinion, fully my opinion. But
And that's okay.
from what I've seen,
if people get mad at your opinion, that's the issue. It's okay to have an opinion. That's what we want people to understand.
and I have facts I will get facts, and I will talk with you if you have a disagreement with this.
You're not just
DM
talking
me,
out of
you
your
know.
ass.
Exactly. I will absolutely listen. If you have a point to make to me, DM me on Instagram or Twitter and tell me otherwise. Tell me why I'm wrong and give me reasons why I'm wrong. I will listen to what you have to say. But if it's bullshit, I would just block you. And that's just how it is. Like, if you try to come with me at some, first quarter bullshit answer because this, I'm just gonna block you, because I'm already past that. I'm, in the next game at this point. I understand what's going on here.
Yeah.
I've been watching, so
I
I'm
know-
not claiming to be a know-it-all, and I don't know everything, but I feel like my opinion stands its own ground. It's not complete. It doesn't have. It's not just gonna be swept over very easily because
I know. Let's move on from that. Eric, do you have anything else to say?
definitely we're getting a little still heated. Sorry.
On a random note that has no context to anything, is there anything you guys have been doing, like any hobbies you guys have picked up recently?
You're looking at it right now, boy.
I mean, aside from this, I know this, and I know beats for Tyler.
Here recently, I've been getting into fighting and working out. That's my biggest hobby right now.
Like boxing or like
Yeah,
sparring?
like kickboxing. I've been training for a while.
Is it safe? Like, do you think where you're at?
What do you mean?
Corona
Like,
and stuff.
there's probably like contact, you know?
Oh no, I just have a personal trainer.
Oh, okay,
Not
so it's
going
just
to a gym.
you and him.
I thought you were saying, is it safe? Like, no, I'll fucking beat someone up.
Yeah, I that's why I didn't want to cast any judgment. That's
No,
I was-
I'm literally listen. I just got this property this year, and what I did, there's like a little concrete slab outside, so I put like a bench press, like a water bag, a boxing bag, and then a basketball
nice.
hoop, and I just go out. I step out my door, and I just train. I go hard, and then
that's amazing.
take another 5
Pretty
steps, and
fire.
I'm in the shower.
Yes, sir.
I recently picked up speed running for Paper Mario on the old Nintendo 64, and that's
That's lit.
Very
That's,
nice.
bro, you should start streaming that on Twitch, bro.
I don't have a setup like that or anything.
No,
No, you
if
gotta
anything-
start.
If anything, just record it. You could post it on YouTube. I would love to watch that.
Cool.
'Cause
Exactly,
I've
bro.
been
We'll
trying.
watch
I've
it.
actually not here recently, but like last month, I was trying to learn how to speedrun Minecraft. Like I love speedrunning. I have a couple channels that post speedruns. Like I don't know.
I might have to look into it. It might be a little too much for me to do right now, but I'll look into
Yeah,
it for sure.
don't let it get in the way. But I'm saying
Speedruns are stressful for me, so I couldn't really.
Yeah, it's
I'm
all.
not like being stressed out that
that's
much.
why I like it though almost.
I
feel
I
like,
get what you mean, but I don't know. It's just too
I
much.
feel like
I
gaming has
also-
gotten less stressful, and that's why I'm less invested into it almost.
I could agree with
Speedrun's
you on
very
that.
anger-inducing. So like, another worry about like if I ever record it, I fear like right now it would just be me like swearing after messing up every 10
And
seconds.
people would love
That
that
would
shit.
be hilarious. That's
Yeah.
what people watch.
Exactly. That's what people
Fool
want.
myself.
I
But
know.
recently, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You said you were recently.
I was just saying recently I've been making a lot less beats because I kind of made a plethora of them a while. You know, I've been working on them a lot.
Overtime.
Recently I've been getting into Pro Tools and really learning, you know, ins and outs. I mean, I could record on it before. I was pretty proficient, but I'm trying to get everything polished up so I can record very fast and things. Been
Yeah.
working on my new tape. It's gonna drop. I don't know. It was gonna drop actually tomorrow, but I'm pushing it back because I'm not quite satisfied. It's not polished quite
Wait,
yet. But
you just got a Mac, right?
yes, sir.
How are
Just
you
got a new
liking it so
MacBook,
far?
so it's great. It's amazing.
That's
That's
a good.
good.
That's
New-
honestly a good reason to push it back. You have the technology to make just that next step of music.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get that next edge on.
Yeah,
I got the
that's
2019
completely-
Pro Tools. Yes, sir. Also got recently got my hands on one of my homies hooked me up with a license for Complete 13. So I've been shout out my boy Robbie on Twitter. I'm weak.
Do you want to
boy,
you want to explain what this is, Tyler?
So basically, he just he kind of letting me use his license for a certain you know, some sounds that he uses to make beats and things that are just came
that's
out.
what this is. It's like sounds to add into beats.
Yeah, basically, I don't know if any of you guys make beats or anything. It's basically like a plugin is what you use to make like the sounds and melodies and things in beats. Plugins, basically the main thing you use. It's that and drums. So basically, there's a plugin called Contact, and it's kind of like a vehicle for, I'd say, like sound banks. So basically, you open Contact, and there's sound banks inside of Contact that you can use. And basically, what it is very realistic instruments that they actually recorded live, like from all around the world, like Africa, India, all types of instruments. Very old vintage pianos, bass, guitar, all types of stuff. And they have the banks for them, so then you can use the contact to use the sounds to then make beats with those sounds. But yeah, my dude hooked me up with the little license there, and we're about to go crazy. We're about to make the craziest samples. If you guys need guitar samples, if you make beats, link in the description.
Always.
Check out my
Links
website.
will always be in description for everything.
Free guitar loops down there for y'all. Got some beats on my YouTube. Got free beats. If you want just a free beat, check it out. You guys are trying to make music, hit me up. I'm trying to work all the time.
Good deal. I'm gonna move on real quick, and I know Eric's probably super excited about this, but it's the thing that Biden just proposed about the forgiveness of student loan debt.
I did see that.
You want to
That's
talk about
awesome.
Eric?
It's definitely needed. He basically proposed that he said, I don't have it in front of me, but the policy is that like if your income was under 120K, all of your debts will be I don't know if it was 120 or 125 thousand, but like it'll just
I have it.
it gets
here.
cleared.
So it says under this plan, Biden would.
So many people.
I'm gonna read it real quick. It says under this plan, Biden would forgive all undergraduate federal student loan debts for borrowers with an annual income of under 125,000 who attended public college and universities.
Do you guys think he's capable of actually delivering that if he does
I don't
get
know.
in office?
That's the biggest issue. I think that's a beautiful proposal, but I don't know how I feel about Biden.
I'm not saying that I support Trump. Obviously, you guys know after
No, we
hearing
just went over
I
this
think
episode.
the biggest thing is to focus on where he's saying the money's going to come from and showing that it's able to be done. Because if it is, I definitely support that.
Yeah, if you could show that, I would definitely support it too. But other than that, from what I've seen, at least from the presidential debates and just seeing him speak publicly in other events, like he barely can form a coherent sentence. He can, but he has trouble with certain words, and that's not something that you want in a leader.
That's my biggest problem with it. So here's my thought. I might be completely wrong. This might never happen, but I think if Biden gets in the office, he won't make it to 4 years, and they'll do the testing and they'll find out that he is mentally incapable of running a country. And that is the issue. The issue of that is I don't like his vice president pick. I despise her. Do you guys know anything about her?
I actually don't.
So she was the public attorney or the general office for California, and she's known for wrongfully convicting people.
I think I did hear about it. Yeah.
So she was the stated. What is that? Why am I blanking right now? What is the person that goes against the criminals?
The
prosecutors.
Yeah, the
prosecutor,
state prosecutor. That's what she was in California.
Okay.
I don't know.
Was she a prosecuting attorney or what?
Yeah, she was the state's prosecuting attorney, and she has on her record of a lot of wrongful convictions, and I'm not okay with that.
That's not okay at all. It's not. That's one of the big reasons that the prison system is so corrupt and messed up. And it's unfortunate, the prison system. There's bad people in the prison system that do belong there, but there is a lot of people that do not belong there.
But it's quiet. Most of the time, it's quiet corruption. This is actually.
I wouldn't even say that. Have you seen Larry Lawton?
No, there is. I'm not saying that it's completely, but I'm saying there's a shit ton of people that they have things that are going on and we don't know about. I promise you.
What do you mean?
Bro, just with like the whole Epstein thing. We didn't even know about that shit.
Wait, were you talking about Kamala Harris earlier?
Yeah, I was talking about.
Okay, I was confused because I asked who, and I don't think you heard.
Yeah, I was talking about if they figure out that he's not capable to run the country, that she would become the president, and I don't like what she did in California.
Oh yeah, no, that would
Yeah,
not be good.
that's
But
definitely.
what I was just speaking on is just the corruption, and I know we know some stuff that's happened, but there is a lot of quiet shit that's happening.
She was the attorney general and then a district attorney,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And then a senator, and then
and
now.
she was very corrupt during her stay in California, at least.
I still haven't done enough research to know like everything that she's done. Well, with all of that, I just know like from everything that's come out, it's probably not good.
It's not good. There is documents where
Oh yeah, definitely. I need to
that-
read up more.
people that she's went against completely get released after like 15 years because they were nowhere close to the murder or shit like that. She's just known for going super hard on people that are minorities.
Right. That's everything that I've heard.
Yeah, and I don't like that. That's the only reason. I think Biden's state of mind is the only thing that scares me. I'm not against his policies and laws that he wants to pass.
Not at all. But he's not gonna hold out. I mean, he can't even talk. Like, how is he gonna
That's the issue.
make decisions for millions and millions of people?
That's the
I'm
only reason I
not
mentioned that. is
supporting
'cause-
Trump. I am condoning third parties.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like that.
But Eric was just saying he would support that, and I was like, I would love to support that, but I'm just too scared to vote for him.
Oh yeah.
To vote for.
I mean, it's
It's
hard to say if it's better than
Well,
Trump.
I'm just this election. I have to, like, me personally, like, if I were like to say who I'd vote for as of right now, it would be Biden, because, in my thoughts, Trump needs out at all costs,
Yeah. Of
and
course.
then look into third party more next election. But I just think it's something that needs to happen.
Of course.
But if Biden dies and Kamala has to take over in that event,
I
mean, that's
you
very
know-
unlikely to happen. Very unlikely to happen.
No, I'm not saying he'll die, but I think it's very possible with how he is now than here in a couple. Because I worked in the medical field, I know that it can turn from 0 to 100 with your mental state in a week. You can go.
I mean,
from
yeah,
knowing
and he's that
everything
age. Yeah, definitely.
to not
Definitely.
knowing a damn thing, and he's had 2 open brain surgeries already. So that's an issue that I think about. Would I possibly vote for Biden? There is a chance because that's the other party that's going to beat Trump. But I don't want to be completely oblivious to the fact that there is third parties.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's really important that a lot of people
To
put in
wrap
time
to
with
wrap
them.
this all up, you want to switch over to talking about how people are getting shamed for wearing masks?
It's not really a shame thing. It's just like
See
an
it.
interesting thought. I mean, it kind of is for some people,
I
but
think it is.
like just like the thought of like, say you're driving down the road and you look into a car that's just a singular driver and they're wearing a mask. Some people would look at that and be like, "Oh, why do they have a mask on?" and like judge them for it. But I don't see where that like stigma can come from, because if anything, you don't know where they're going for one. Like, they could be just picking someone up, just dropping somebody off. They could be doing anything to like prevent
Just
the spread
left
of
the gas station,
their
just
to
left
other
the store, heading to the store,
or they
heading
can
to
just
the
also
gas.
be practicing good
And
habits. I don't
sometimes-
really see how that's negative at all.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not at all. And some people sometimes will, like, I mean, whenever you're at work for a whole work day and you have to have the mask on because it's company policy, and then you come home and you just accidentally put the mask on again, or you just have a habit of putting it back on, like, it's not like, I don't know,
I
like
just-
some people just look at it as
The whole
like
thing is
very
why,
weird. And
Why
It's
are
really
people
weird.
attacking people for wearing masks?
I
Yeah.
don't.
or looking at
I
people
believe,
in
like,
public
It
differently.
shouldn't matter if you leave a store and keep your mask on, or any of these things that could happen. It's just a mask. It's just
A mask is not a political statement. A mask is
Whether or not
not.
your beliefs
Well, it's not
Something
really
like that.
political. It's just people like what is this fucking bozo doing wearing a
No,
mask?
I'm not saying that you were saying it was. I'm just saying that some people kind of take it as that. Like if
Yeah.
you see somebody wearing a mask, like, oh, he's against Trump or something. It's like,
Yeah.
no, like because Trump didn't wear a mask
Yeah.
for the longest time.
Then
Then he gets the
Oh
virus.
my gosh, he's wearing a mask. He's Antifa.
And that's a whole nother
Get
thing.
the fuck out of here.
Somebody at Trump's age getting over the coronavirus in 3 days.
Well, because he's a rich man. Come on now. We all know that.
I
That's
guess
how
you're
it
right about
works.
that, but I don't know,
Did you
dude.
see him landing?
Viruses take
back
longer time to
from
run
the
courses.
hospital? And honestly, really did look like he was struggling to breathe a
Yeah,
little
I
bit.
mean, he's going to have issues, but if there is a vaccine that's just
He
not
got it,
released
yeah.
yet, he has it. I promise you that.
Yeah, I mean
that's
that's
just
fair.
how the rich works. Like they always.
I don't think that is a thing that has happened.
There was this. I was talking to this guy. He was a truck driver that came into where I work, and he was talking about the rich, and he was saying like if a meteor was going to hit the work, that the rich would find out and we'd find out the next day.
Oh yeah,
That's how it works.
definitely how it works.
I don't know. We'll keep updated on everything. I think this was probably our best podcast. You guys think?
Oh yeah,
Hey, thank
definitely.
It was
Got-
very
got heated.
comfortable. That's
Yeah.
okay though.
you. It was really
And,
comfortable.
and it was passionate, and there was passion in it. Whenever I talked about that shit earlier, guys, take what I said and really think about it, because
Yeah.
like you are the future. If you're a young person right now and you're hearing this, you are the
You
future of this
matter.
country.
That is
You-
our biggest thing
your
on
opinion
this podcast.
matters.
You matter.
Your opinion matters. Having a political opinion is not corny. No matter what the cool kids say or what the other group says, like, it's not corny. It is the future of your life, of everyone's existence, like
Yes.
the world as you know it. So don't listen to what the masses say. Have a political opinion
Another
and
thing is,
and vote.
I think it's okay. This is a very strong thing to do, but I think it's okay to go against your family.
Oh, 100%.
That absolutely. I definitely want to jump in on that.
Yeah, I'm
and
adamant about that.
tenfold.
Don't be afraid to share.
I
Like,
promise you will
from
have
it.
supporters, you will have friends that will stand by you. Sometimes family doesn't run as deep as we think. It's alright. It's okay. And I mean, the best case scenario is your family's like, okay, we understand. But I know sometimes, like, oh, you support Democratic? Get the fuck out of my house. Like, it's okay. There's people here for you. We're honestly here for you. If you reach out to us and say, like, you were taking a stand and your family does not support that, I'll do as much as I can to help you. It's all right.
Exactly. Same here. If you're in that situation, if you need, guidance or want to talk about how you don't need to conform to, if you see something, there's a problem with something and it's not right, it's probably not right. So don't just let it blow over, because telling the people that you love and know that the way that they're thinking is wrong is part of real change. And if they disown you or judge you or do some craziness nonsense because of you doing what you believe is right, then that really shows you who they are as a person.
100%.
They think that you're trying to do something right, and then they're going to look at you differently or judge you because of that. That's fine. And some people just think that they're above us. Some older people just think that their opinion matters more, and that's fine. You can let them think that, but you got to understand that the vote is the same thing in the box.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
So-
It's
You're
okay.
never hold the equal weight of another person.
Of course. It's okay to have your own views. That's all we're trying to say.
Just please do what's right.
Yeah.
Do not let evil just do what it does. Do not let
100%. And that can go.
do not just let it take its course.
We're not going to be biased here. If it's the complete opposite, it's okay as long as you're. I'm not about evil, but I'm saying, like, if your family is completely Democratic and you're leaning towards the Republican side, that's okay. Just make sure you know what you're doing and know what, like, understands your views.
Definitely.
All right, I think we're out of here. We're at like a minute or an hour 20. I think
Oof.
that's
Ooh,
we
yes,
earned
sir.
it.
Juicy.
All right, hopefully hopefully we're on all platforms, boys.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
not 100%. This might just be on YouTube, but if anything, just remember to check the description below. We'll have the links, my links, we'll have Tyler's links, we'll have Eric's links, and then we'll also have the podcast links for other social medias. And if we do get approved for other platforms, I'll let it be known on our other, like Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
Stream Nectar by Joji.
Stay tuned for Purgatory dropping soon.
All right, we're out of here.
Bye, Beats.
Appreciate you guys. You guys have
Peace
anything
out,
else
guys.
to say?
Nope.
If you want to
I'm
promote
all
anything
good.
or anything, we'll go right now.
Click the link in the description if you need beats. Buy one, get one free. I'll mix your song if you buy a beat for free. Hit me up. Stay tuned for Purgatory. Thanks for the support. We really appreciate it. Let's try to break 50 likes on this episode. If we can, that would be insane.
Please,
Let's run it.
Please leave a comment
If you like episodes like this with more debates and actual, conversations and discussions, please let us know if you like this one more so than the other ones. We're trying to get better and really give you guys some good content to listen to. So
100%.
please vote, do the right thing. Love y'all. Peace out.
Make sure you're taking care of yourselves. It's a tough time, but it'll change. It'll get better.
Definitely. All right, guys. Peace out.
Peace out.
Alex Real made this.
Hey, Sadler.